Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers, geezers, and geeks who like books, films, James Bond, spies, and Keith in a tumble dryer. It's it's this week's Monkey Nut Punch podcast. So, as always on these podcasting journeys, I'm joined by my trusty stalwart, Nigel. Say hello.
Hello.
And there's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Dave. Hello, Dave.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be back.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Dave.
And we got a Keith. Yeah.
Let's not forget Keith.
You mean Keith?
We got our Keith.
Cavill no taste mellow.
It's annoying. I've got a much better one than that.
Got to get a better one.
I've got Porkins, and he crashes because he spills milkshake on his X-Wing controller. That's the one I'm replacing that with. I meant to do it, but things got away from me today. So this week we will mostly be talking about Tom Hardy's James Bond, The Boys getting a spin-off, Supergirl getting cancelled, Assassin's Creed being on the Xbox Games Pass, PS4's SpiderMan Remastered debacle, Microsoft buying Bethesda, Microsoft might be buying other developers, and Amazon Xbox X somehow got a boost in sales. I wonder why. But before we get on with that, it's time to talk movies. So, Tom Hardy, Tom Hardy, the geezer, and who picked this website? Tom Hardy. Apparently, Tom Hardy has been cast as the new James Bond. I don't believe it, not for a moment, because Tom Hardy is, how can I put it? He's not a gentleman actor. He's a geezer. And my brother will attest to him being a geezer because he's the foremost expert on who are geezers and who aren't. So,
I'd put him in the same category as Jason Statham.
Yeah, he is. I don't want to sound rude to Idris Elba. Idris Elba's a bit of a geezer too. And that's kind of where I got my problem with him playing James Bond. He might be able to pull it off. I haven't seen it. You know, I'm not going to judge until I see it. Same thing with Heath Ledger playing the Joker. Did a fabulous job. I'm just a little worried that it's going to be a bit shite.
I think he can do Bond because if you remember Inception, where he is well-spoken, upper-class British, he pulls that off. He can do suave. I mean, remember him in Dunkirk as well, where again he was suave and sophisticated as a Spitfire pilot, which because they were all gents. I think he can do Bond. I just wanted Tom Hiddleston because I thought he would be a damn good Bond. And but Tom Hardy is a geezer, and he's a nice bloke. I think he can pull off Bond. I do. Certainly better than bloody Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig
wasn't that bad.
Oh yeah, but he's the kind of guy who doesn't want to be Bond.
Okay,
Dave, it's not Dave. It's not how he portrays Bond. It's how he portrays himself off the camera. Where after every Bond film, he's moaned like a little bitch. I mean, he's moaned like a little girl. He killed Danny Boyle's Bond film, which would have been awesome because it wasn't woke enough for him. He genuinely he's a tosser, and I don't think he deserves to play the role because he always moans about it. You know, every other guy that's played Bond, with the exception of George Lazenby, has always handled themselves better, including Connery, who had lots of problems with Bond.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's go. I'm going to voice of my own opinions here. Okay. Lazenby as Bond. I think he did On His Majesty's Secret Service, which I know was not the best Bond of all time, and he was basically told not to come back for the Bond after that. I think they got Timothy Dalton for it, didn't they?
No, Connery came back.
No, Connery came back. Yeah, Sean Connery was the best Bond of all time. I'm sorry, I'm just going to throw it out there. With Roger Moore and Pierce Brosnan coming in as the seconds. Well, Roger Moore is the second, Pierce Brosnan is the third.
I'm going to completely disagree with you on that one. because I think
I knew it was going to happen.
with the exception of maybe one movie, Pierce Brosnan, I think was the most enjoyable Bond.
He was the Bond of our time. He was the Bond of like the 90s generation. Yeah, I mean, GoldenEye was a good movie. Tomorrow Never Dies was better in some respects. The World Was Not Enough was also a good movie, but they really mucked it up for Die Another Day. They really screwed up that movie big style.
That's because they put Madonna in it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to say that, Keith, just to be a bit tasteful towards Madonna. Yeah, Madonna's a singer, not a flipping action movie actress, and she's certainly not a rapper either, if you guys know what I'm referring to.
Okay, all right, well, we'll leave Madonna aside, but we just look at the other picks that we had for James Bond. Keith mentioned Tom Hiddleston, which I think he probably would make. He would make a good, interesting James Bond. But the other one was going around was the currently geek favorite Henry Cavill, who I think would make a good James Bond, and he would age into that role if they do it right. And if you look at Mission Impossible Fallout, with a few tweaks here and there, he's there as well.
He was in Man for Uncle as well, and he was quite good in that.
Yes,
and, I mean, I having seen Tom Hardy do, like, a young Tom Hardy play the Picard in Star Trek Nemesis, he certainly got the accent down that he could, turn to a more upper sort of British class accent. So I don't know. I like Tom Hardy. I'm a Tom Hardy fan. So I
do like Tom Hardy. Well, he was really good with Dark Knight Rises.
Well, Well, we've had this from Babster. He's an amazing actor. He could play anyone, but I don't think he's James Bond. True.
I'm going to agree with that.
Now, think of it this way. We've had a similar-ish sort of thing going on with the Kingsman, haven't we? Where we got a proper chav playing an upper-class type spy.
But he's
thing.
not.
Why not?
If you see him in real life, he's not a chav.
Persona. Yeah, no, but in the films, mate, I'm talking about films, not real life. And in the film, why not have James Bond? Because James Bond 007 is just a tag, isn't it? It's just the name of a particular agent. It's not his real name, obviously.
No, it is.
Why not?
They've confirmed that it's not a thing that gets passed on. Because I can understand where you got that from, but it's definitely what do you call it? It's definitely a real person.
Yeah, somehow this character hasn't aged since the 50s.
No, he's Gallifreyan. He's Gallifreyan without a TARDIS.
Well, I think the Daniel Craig James Bond movie was just tried to reinvent the franchise. It was like how James Bond became James Bond.
This is a funny thing because they talk about how James Bond kind of takes keys from the big franchises that are currently around. So if you have like Daniel Craig's one took a lot from the Bourne Identity, because the Bourne Identity was a big kind of popular film in regards to that. So if you look at that first one, Casino Royale, really, really
rough.
Not rough, Bourne Identity-ish.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was also a bit rough around the edges where Bond, the fight in the black and white fight where he gets his 00 status in the toilet is proper rough and tumble and brute sort of street fighting, really, and very unlike Bond. Casino Royale was a good film. Skyfall is a good Bond. I quite like the casino bits.
Casino Royale was good. Quantum of Solace was crap.
Skyfall was good.
Skyfall was good. Spectre was good. I only watched Spectre once. I should watch it again, really, because it was actually really well done. But yeah, Quantum of Solace was like the black sheep out of all the Daniel Craig.
That was. I agree with you, but it was partly down to the. It was partly down to the writer's strike at the time that screwed that.
Yeah, it had such potential, but they just fucked it up. And it was like, oh
yeah, no, I agree with you.
Casino Royale, it was a good movie. It was so well done, like so cleverly done. And then Quantum of Solace came out. I was like, oh no, you go completely in the wrong direction. I was like, what the hell were you doing? Seriously.
Okay, let's get back to who should be new Bond because got a few more comments, Nigel.
Yep.
So
Henry Cavill. So Baxter is saying about Henry Cavill for Bond. Yeah, he's right. He's busy doing The Witcher. Maybe Superman again. Maybe. I'm all for Henry Cavill being Bond. He's a good actor, and even the geeks love him now. So yeah, man crushes. That's going on. He reckons Sean Connery was the best Bond, but growing up was Roger Moore, and he was ace.
I didn't like Roger Moore too much.
But he liked the Saint. Yeah, I don't really have a favourite Bond. I'm probably not into the Bond films as much as you guys are, which is strange because I do like my action films.
I do like a good Bond, especially around Christmas.
His favourite Bond film was Moonraker and Skyfall. So Skyfall was in there. I didn't mind Skyfall actually. Is that the one with the when they go to is it Edinburgh or Scotland or something?
Yeah, I didn't mind that one. Except they had the balls to kill M off, which I think I liked about that.
I like that one. It was quite good.
It's
Idris Elba would be decking awesome. I agree. I like
it was the next Bond, not Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I thought
would have worked. Maybe not Tom Hardy, not so much.
I thought Idris Elba would have been good.
Idris Elba is pushing 50. Sorry, 60. He's heading towards 60. I'm afraid he's
different type of Bond.
It would work. It's funny you should mention Henry Cavill. It's just come up in my news feed. It's now confirmed he signed a 3 film deal to return as Superman.
Awesome.
So he's coming back as Superman.
He was all right, wasn't he? I've only seen.
I've watched Man of Steel once.
No, is it Man of Steel? Or is it Batman?
He was good.
I don't know.
He would have been a great Superman had Zack Snyder written decent movies. Now I know there's people that like it, but for me, he did not get Superman right. Superman hovering there, all godlike, was never what Superman was all about.
No, you can have that, but you need to put the hope in. Because if you have the hope beforehand and all that lovely warm feeling, and then you have that imagery, it works. Yeah, but if you don't have that warm feeling, if you don't set the characters up right, Dave, right, and make sure they develop correctly, guess what?
All right, okay.
That's quite funny because that helpfully pushes us onto our next section. So The Boys looks like it might be getting a spin-off on Amazon. The spin-off is the weird thing because there are boys stories that are spin-off. One of them that springs to mind is one called Herogasm. But it's being set in a college in the US for soups, described as part college show, part Hunger Games. Will not feature any characters in the main show. And that there, my friend, is probably the biggest kind of disappointment when it comes to that. So it's interesting. I'll be honest with you. I just want the boys. I don't want them taking any time away from the boys. I don't want them doing anything different from the boys. I need them to concentrate on making it a bloody good TV show. And then, you can then think about doing spin-offs when it comes towards the end.
Yeah, I can see your point there.
Get a few good series in of the boys first before thinking about spin-offs. I do like the series, boys. It's great, but really having one series and not even finishing the second one and thinking about doing a spin-off, premature, maybe.
Yeah, I would say it's premature. It reminds me of the Arrowverse, where they just did like fucking hundreds of things.
They didn't at first. Flash had 3. Arrow had 3 seasons before the Flash came into it, and they put the Flash in as a backdoor pilot. Then we got Legends of Tomorrow. See, Supergirl was never part of it. Supergirl only really became part of it because whatever network it was on before the CW cancelled it, and then the CW picked it up to include it in the Arrowverse. But no, this is probably the quickest thing that I've ever seen to get a spin-off. It's been on a season and a half, and it's getting a spin-off already. Although The Boys is very popular, it's one of Amazon's most popular shows. If they're going to do what CBS All Access is unfortunately doing with Star Trek, where they have you know, whatever that piece of crap is on at the moment. Then they've got the other piece of crap that's coming straight after it. If they do it like that, then it's just more boys' TV shows, and I could see that. But on the other hand, if it's going to start fucking with the main show, then no, I'm not for it.
Just concentrate on getting the main show right. Do one thing right rather than loads of things okay. That's what I think.
Good idea. Yeah, good advice.
Yeah, well, look at The Walking Dead. Look at The Walking Dead. That was going quite well. They introduced this spin-off, Fear the Walking Dead, or whatever it's called. Trash.
It's all right. Dave can't see the comments up on his, because Dave's with me at the moment, and he can't see the comments up on his screen because we've got the private chat on.
Yeah, hang on. Let me pull that up. Has Dave got Terry Wogan's mic?
What?
Yes.
No, he's got my old mic that is trying to have.
Unless there's something going on that I don't know about, then no. But hello, Babs Arcade, though, and thank you for the subscribe on YouTube.
You need to show Dave some old footage of Terry Wogan and his microphone, then he'll get it. I'd like to say that I don't understand it because then I wouldn't be admitting to how old I am. But I do get it.
All right,
I do remember Terry Wogan. That's how old I am.
Just like to point out that no Victor Meldrew would be a terrible James Bond.
Who's written that? Oh yeah, Babs Arcade. Okay.
All right. So
I don't believe it.
I did believe it. Yeah, you could imagine him fighting Blofeld, couldn't you? And Jesus.
Okay.
So because we got Dave here, and you, I don't think prime time, Dave. Dave's got a message for you.
Right, guys. For those of you who have not watched the podcast before, I am also a book author. I've written. Hang on a second, sugar. I've written this book here, which has recently, earlier on this year, was released as an audio book by both Gareth and Nigel. Nigel was the narrator. Gareth was the producer, and I'm the one who produced the original material back in 2015. Yes, Gareth. Yeah, and Keith read the book and also given it a 5-star review. I would listen to the audio book and give it a 5-star review as well. Hang on, just one sec. This is what the book is about.
Dave, what's the name of the book?
Just to do it quickly, right? Because there's also Bladefoot Evolved, also on Amazon.
And also, there's also this book as well that I've also done. Black Mamba. Yeah, this is going to be.
There is also the Shadow of the Black Mamba. Which is also
the Gareth book. We tend to call that the Gareth book.
I just checked English. He wrote it. Sorry,
it's got to be better English than the first one.
Gareth was the editor. Was my unofficial editor in chief about that. But anyway,
okay. All right, sorry. That's the worst shameless plug I think we've ever done.
Okay. With that in mind, Babster's asking a question. Is it competition time to win a book?
No, you can buy them on Amazon. I'll put the links in the description.
Anyway, let's move on to our next story because we're talking about the boys and superheroes. We've got Supergirl confirmed to end with season 6. I know why it's ending with season 6.
Because it's shit.
Yeah, well, the other reason is that Melissa Benoist is also pregnant too. So she probably wants to be mummy.
I look like it's David Harewood. I don't really know who he was in Supergirl.
Well, I mean, I know that she's pregnant, but they've also bringing out Lois and Clark, aren't they? Which they think will be a bit more popular. Because season 4 of Supergirl, I think, went stupidly woke, and season 5, for the most part, followed suit. And people stopped watching it.
And it was paired with Batwoman. That was the other thing too, is where Batwoman had, how can I put it nicely, tanked, shall we say?
Yes, I got huge nice. Even watching one episode of like Batgirl or whatever it was by this one. I was being hooked into a mental asylum just for even watching it for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've only
melted my brain.
So needless to say, I didn't get into that franchise whatsoever. It wasn't as good as Gotham.
It was shit. So the long and the short of it is that's ending, and that's where it comes back to that thing with the boys. Do one show well, not lots of shows, kind of okay. And this one's especially for me and not for me and Nice because we've been on this all week. Okay.
You missed something. You missed something in the TV section.
Ah, no, we'll do it. We'll do it towards the end.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do it towards the end.
Yeah.
Okay. So, myself and Nigel have been trying to pre-order ourselves PS5s and Xbox X series for the last week and a bit. Managed to get my PS5 pre-order in. Had great fun.
No, I didn't.
And I was getting very pissed off. And Nigel missed getting the PS5.
So role reversal, wasn't it? Really?
Yeah. So you got your Xbox X series, and I got my PS5.
And I was trying to get my PS5, but I had to be somewhere at the time it went live, and it didn't matter because within 5 minutes, gone, sold out completely. And Gareth was one of those people who got it.
Yes.
And he was going, "Do you get it?" I was like, "No, didn't even load, mate." And then when the Xbox Series came out, I joined the queue, the online queue to even log in. And it sat there and went an hour. And I went, do you know what? I'm going to jump in my car and go to town, which is 5 minutes away. And I walked into the store at 8:30. It was 8:15. No queue. Went up, said, "Have you got any Xbox X Series X?" And he went, "Yes." I went, "Cool. I'll pre-order that then, please." And he went, "Done. Cheers, mate." And I walked out. Gareth, on the other hand,
and Keith
and me
and Keith,
we sat on. This
sat
is right,
online.
right. Just like to point out that they said the what do you call it? They were available from 8 o'clock. What a lying piece of shit! I'm sorry, you lied. It was 9 o'clock onwards. All right. So we sat in a queue for fucking ages. I think me and Keith to try and get just to get in to press the button for the pre-orders. Yeah.
I had sat on that as well. I sat online. I just went, while I'm in the queue here, it's an hour. I might as well jump in my car, drive 5 minutes to the nearest store, and just try my luck. Gareth doesn't have that option because he's not that close to the nearest store, are you? So you couldn't really do that. And I just parked up, paid my ticket, go in, and I walked up to the counter. And he went, "Yeah, we've got 10 left." I was like, "Cool. Make that 9. Put one down for me, please. Thank you. Here's my car." I got home, and by the time I got home, the queue was on like 2 or 3 minutes left.
Yeah. I
was like, "Well, there you go. It pays to go into store." You found this out.
Yeah, right. So this is right, hang on a second. This I found this is quite amusing because I went into my nearest GameStop, which is Staines.
Was that a few days later or so?
That was on I think it was on Wednesday. So the Wednesday, the week, the day after, maybe. Anyway, it was Wednesday, the day after. So I went into Staines and I got to the GameStop, and they've got and they've got all these things saying Xbox X Series not in. I walked up to the counter and I went, "I'm going to ask. I don't think I'm going to have any joy with this. Do you have an Xbox S Series?" To which the guy looked at me like I just done a shit in his shoes. And he went, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh, great. And do you know why they got Xbox X Series? Because no fucker wants them."
No fucker wants an S.
I don't. Yeah, but this is what pisses me off about people and how fickle they are. It's the same fucking thing with drones as well. They're getting the Xbox X because they think it's the better console. And when you actually look at it on paper, right, the difference between the consoles is one can do 4K graphics and one can do 1080p, right? Both are going to have the same graphics, right? The reason that the Xbox X is so much more powerful is you need all of that extra computing power to pump out that fucking 4K image. But the games are going to be the same. They're going to look the same. They're going to have the same fucking graphics details, except one's going to be in 4K, one's going to be in 1080. And that's what the difference is. And I bet you over 50% of the people that are ordering the Xbox X don't have 4K TVs.
You're missing two very major points there on your comparison.
Let me start with
one has a disk drive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it doesn't have a disk drive.
One's got the X has got a disk drive.
No. Disk drives are dead.
No. That's the only reason. That's the
Next
only
generation.
No,
reason
disk drives
why
are dead.
I'm-
Most people are downloading games these days. They
Yeah,
are not
not
buying
me.
the hard media.
I download games on my Switch.
Hang on, hold on a second. I will argue that when it comes to games consoles, because if you're confusing downloading games to the free ones that you get every month,
No, I'm not.
because you get free ones every month, and that's where I think the extra downloads have come from. They need to be eliminated to see who are actually buying games.
Both all the game retailers, all the major game retailers that sell online in the UK are now saying that digital downloads are massively on the rise, and they reckon within 5 years it will the physical media will be dead.
Unfortunately, not for me.
So, okay, the optical drive for me is not a difference, but I can see where you're coming from on it.
The thing is also that it's strange, I find, that the digital only version, where you have to download and store all your games on the hard drive, has half the capacity of the other one. I know they did it for cost reason to bring the cost down, but it is a little bit odd that the digital only version has less storage space.
But you just, again, right? I mean, I download games on the Switch and things, and when I finish with them, I delete them and then download them. They're available to download again if you want to play them again. I know that you have to wait for them to download, and I know that there's certain things there, but I'm surprised that the S series hasn't done better, and I think a lot of it is people being a bit.
Right. You're missing a major thing here, Keith. Once you're done with a game and you've got your physical copy, you go trade it in or whatever, you can then buy second-hand copy and bring it home and plug it in and play the game. And it will be
how many people buy trade-ins?
Me?
How many people do trade? Yeah, I know you do, Nice, but statistically, how many people do it? It isn't a lot.
You're asking me to pull a statistic out of my arse, Keith.
No, I know the answer to it.
To be honest, mate,
trade-in is not a huge deal.
If nobody did it, companies would be going out of business, like CEX or Game would be going out of business and things like that. But a lot of people I see when I pop to Game in town, they're looking through the second-hand area. They're looking for games that are being traded in, so they can get it on the cheap. Because
all right.
Just to reiterate, Bapster says, I blow my nose at digital only games. Thank you very much.
Yes, but with all due respect, Bapster is a retro gamer, and I completely get when it comes to retro gaming why you would blow your nose at fucking digital downloads. But digital downloads, whether we like it or not, is the future.
Unfortunately, I think for me, if things do start to go digital only, I will seriously consider whether or not I carry on. You know,
Dave wants to. I'm going to chime in just before Dave starts talking. I'm doing the Xbox S series, as a test to see if I can. It does work with digital only. The pricing is the first thing. Is physical games get discounted quicker? That's a big thing. I bought Resident Evil for £20 on Amazon. It's $24.99 in a sale, which isn't going to last on the PlayStation Store, and the same on the Xbox Store the month before. So we've got those aspects of us, to deal with. So
when you're done with it, you can put it in.
Yeah, but this is the thing: is at the moment I don't know how it goes. My Xbox One, I'll be honest with you, I tend to digital only on the Xbox One. Yeah, so that's why I'm getting the S. I'll see how I get on with it. But hang on a second. Do you want to bring up some comments? Oh, sorry, let Dave go and then bring the comments up from.
Just making sure. Unfortunately, my microphone went down. So yeah, I'm back online now.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you wanted to.
I thought you I just wanted to make sure the system was working all right, but it turns out it is.
So I would wager I understand this whole digital anyway. I would say my PC is my only digital version of computing thing that I've got, because back in the day when you had a computer and you bought a computer game for your computer, they assumed that you would copy the disc and therefore can't trade it in because you'd keep a copy of the disc and so forth, if you see what I mean. So there was this thing with PC games way back in the 90s, I believe, where you were not able to trade a PC game back for anything else.
Right, okay. Part of that is also to do with the end user license agreement, where they turn
What
around
was that called? The DRMs?
No, it wasn't DRM. This was just the illegal thing. You know, we have to sit there and you click yes and you don't read the shit. It says that this copy is licensed to you and you only, and you're not allowed to pass it on or sell it on.
Yeah, and so you could.
CX did.
Yeah, and with the PC, it was much more difficult to do that. I mean, you could sell your CD to someone else, but then obviously you used to get CD keys in order to log in and all that sort of stuff on the back of the manual. Remember that? So nowadays it's much easier with consoles and things like that. So my only digital computing gaming thing is my PC.
Okay.
All
right. Let's just pop on with the stories and whatnot. Because
I like this one.
Right. The reason I like this one too is look, No Man's Sky. What have we been playing, guys?
Yep. It's just an advert.
It's an advert for No Man's Sky. I've actually been really enjoying it. It's such a much better game.
Just pop into the comment just very quickly. Just on that, I will say nee to you again if you don't change your mind, Keith. Anyway, move on with the story.
I'm not going to change my mind. I think the Xbox S makes a lot of sense for me. I can see why the X series doesn't. But Nigel, you're buying a 4K TV, and if I had a 4K TV, I'd buy the X series. So it wasn't a dig at you. This wasn't a dig at you. I know you know your stuff when it comes to games console, but I bet you a lot of people are buying that, never going to use the disc drive because they're digital thing, and don't have a 4K TV.
Also,
you have to remember. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say also, I've got these old Xbox original games which I can just pop into the drive and it'll go, got your game, download it for you.
Okay. Cool. Right, I just realised this set you guys off. Okay, so just as I've kind of changed the order of stories here because this one's an interesting one because we're talking about pre-orders and stuff. All of a sudden, the Xbox One X sales shot up to 750% when people thought it was the Series X. Sorry. So everyone's been giving Microsoft shit for naming their consoles really poorly.
A lot of people I saw in commenting on articles like this saying, "Nah, it doesn't happen, mate." All the Microsoft hard supporters, if you know what I mean, saying nobody's that stupid to get that wrong. Well, unfortunately, there are a lot of parents out there who are just not tech savvy. They're just not. They want to know. They want the Microsoft X thing, and they go on to Amazon and go, "Oh, it's available. I'll get that." Turns out they got the Xbox One X, not next gen, because they're not up. They're not up with the tech. They're not. Do you know what I mean? And also,
it's the bots. Do you know what gets? Do you know what gets me? Is that this shit has already happened with the Wii U. Do you think they'd learn?
With the Wii and Wii U.
Yeah. It was stupid. If they got it the Super Wii, it would have worked better.
A Super Wii. I need a Super Wii, please.
That's like the one you've been holding on to for an hour in a car.
Those toilets are only for staff. Thank you. No. I read a lot you probably saw it as well as I did when we were trying to pre-order our PS5s and Xbox Ones. Xbox X's. See, I'm fucking doing it, and I know what I'm talking about. The Xbox X's. A lot of people are seeing on eBay people selling the PS5s for $3-4 grand, $7 grand, because you've got scalpers who have bots joining these queues and automatically purchasing the next gen consoles, getting that stock essentially, and then selling it for fucking more. And a lot of these bots might be going for the wrong X.
Okay, well,
and I hope they are.
A lovely gentleman called King Solomon II says, I pre-ordered the Xbox One X instead of the new X. I'm assuming that means the X series.
See, it can happen. It can happen very easily.
Hello, King Solomon II.
King Solomon, did you already receive it? Did you already receive your Xbox One? Because I'm assuming that's in stock.
Yeah, and while we're waiting for a response on that, Yeah, the Wii U was overlooked because of the
do you know-
naming thing and the tablet, and it was just confusing from a marketing perspective. I
Yeah.
don't know why they didn't call it the Xbox 4. Yeah, the
Just something
X4,
normal.
like a BMW. You know, they could have
What
called it the X4 and the Q4.
What was it? What was their? They had a code word for it, didn't they? Not Scorpion. Was it Scorpion?
Scorpio was the Xbox One X. Fucking hell, I'm doing it now. Stupid name, stupid. The marketing division needs to be shot.
King.
I agree with you.
King Solomon. They should have named it the Xbox
Sorry.
2160.
Press the button too.
Gareth,
They
what are
should
you
have.
up
Why
to?
not?
Oh, sorry. Just anyway.
Anything but what they called it. Yeah. So King Solomon, if you did actually receive your Xbox One X, the current gen, let us know if you've got it. It's not a bad console. It will do 4K. It's unfortunately
It does have enhanced editions and stuff on it. Anyway, going back to the stories, we've got this one here where I've got privacy bloody alert pop up the moment I turn away. This is why I use Brave. Okay, right. So it looks like a screenshot leaked for Assassin's Creed Valhalla on Xbox Games Pass. I don't quite believe this because I know that Ubisoft are greedy bastards. So it's a case of I could understand 3 months down the line, maybe 6 months down the line, but not immediately. But saying that, I've got the S series, so I'll be able to download and everything will be fine for me.
Same.
So yeah, that's one of the things is that we got the deals with the 2 years worth of things on it. So it's a really odd one.
And for me also, if that is the Game Pass, this is going to be my first Microsoft console in quite a while. Although I bought the Xbox original, with the X across the front, fairly recently, about a year ago, for about 40 quid, I realised that I can get some good games on it. So now I'm going to buy my first proper Microsoft console, and I'm actually really happy that I've plumped for it. It looks good. Game Pass looks great, and I've just read the other day, I think it was yesterday, that one of my favourite games, I know not up for you guys, is Football Manager 2021 is most likely going to be on Game Pass. I believe Football Manager 20 is on Game Pass. If you like football games,
hang on a second. There's a PC version of Xbox Games Pass too, so you might be able to get it on your PC.
And, yes, and the article stated and corroborated by SI, who create the game, that if you've got Game Pass, the ultimate one, you've got Windows 10, you can use your game save on both your PC and your console.
Okay, got a few comments. So
yes,
if you'd like to do the comments, please.
Just to follow up on the last one, King Solomon, he cancelled his order once he knew it was the old one. Yeah, good call. That does mean you've missed out though. I feel gutted for you.
Yeah.
Unless we're hoping for a second wave, so more people can get in on it. Was there not a huge price difference between the Xbox One X and the Xbox Series X?
Ooh,
yes. I think the current Xbox One S was probably about $240, I think.
No, it's more than that. Oh, hang on.
I thought I saw it about $240. Maybe I'm wrong.
I will Google while you go through the comments.
Now, have a look that up. He's brought up a very good point, Why should someone buy an Xbox if you're a Windows 10 user? Why exactly?
Yeah, Nigel. You're not like a Mac user like me and Keith who needs the Microsoft card.
I'm a Windows.
He's not a Windows 10 user either.
You're a Windows 7 user, you troglodyte.
Good. I know. So we're getting heated now.
Yeah. Sitting there arguing with me about digital downloads, right?
And
you can tell what type of character he is, right? He'd still be on fucking Windows XP if he could get away with it.
Oh, it was a good, Windows XP was quality.
I remember during the day. So he's
Windows
I remember my 386. I had a 386, mate. That was good.
Bloody
I had a 386 during the Cretaceous period as well.
I recommend you buy this book that's written by an author that we don't know very much about, but it's a highly quality book. Thank you.
So,
Right.
yeah,
Okay, so the Xbox One X, not the X series, is about $367.99 on Amazon at the moment. It is going for cheaper on places like One Buy for $219, but it is same. It's higher than an S series.
right. So
Nice
yeah,
one.
what was that, about 80 quid more for the Series X? Is it? Yeah. So yeah, cool. It's an easy mistake to make, even if you do know. I mean, we keep interchanging the two names, and we're not stupid.
It's the stupidest fucking naming convention ever. As Gareth says, they should be shot.
The marketing should be shot for that.
Marketing.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Let's move on to let's chat. Talk about the Sony pony bits.
Sony pony.
So Sony confirms there'll be no free PS4 upgrade for the SpiderMan Remastered version. And you know what?
Oh,
boo!
I don't have a problem with that. I don't. Why everyone's like kind of, we're all now expecting an upgrade. That's never happened in the history of fucking consoles. I'm sorry.
I think it's because Xbox are doing it.
They're not doing it with Spider-Man.
PS4 game.
Sorry. So, it's a weird thing that people are moaning about this, but it will play on your PS5, and I know it's because there's the remastered version attached to Miles Morales, but they kind of want to sell it. Let them fucking sell it. I played the shit out of Spider-Man. I completed it. I got platinum on it because that's the only way I know when to stop playing it.
I'm gonna have to see if I can download it to Switch.
See,
I can.
It's Sony only.
Oh,
Yeah.
sugar. Oh,
Sorry, man.
Sony, mate. Sony, unfortunately. Yeah, the PS5 I pre-ordered.
And know this, if he didn't spend all his time writing books.
Yeah. Dear.
Absolutely
This is
shameless.
becoming a running joke.
Just for this podcast, right? It's just this podcast.
Maybe I should talk about Spider-Man. Maybe that might maybe that might be big as an author.
I suppose Black Mamba.
Maybe if he doesn't get Bond, he could play the Black Mamba. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. I think I could. Me and Gareth were talking about this. We kind of like decided between Andrew Garfield and who was the other one you said, Gareth?
It was Thingy and Tennant, especially at the end. Oh, the dipstick from Twilight. What was his name?
Robert Pattinson. Yeah, that's him.
He did quite well in that. But anyway, let's get back to the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah.
Just do a quick thing. I don't think it's. It's annoying.
I think if you've got the PS4 version of the game and then you buy a PS5 and you put that PS4 version into PS5, it will just play. You just won't get the upgraded version of it, but you'll get the normal PS4 version, which is fine. It just means it runs faster, right? Because it's
a lot
quicker processor. So for me, no real issue, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't care. The version I bought, the PS5 version I bought, a bundle came with Morales anyway.
See, I've not got a game for my PS5 yet.
That's why I paid more, because it came with. I clicked the wrong bundle. I meant to click just Morales, but I clicked Morales plus PS5 plus an extra controller, and I was like, "Wow, that's expensive." But I'm panicking, going, "I need to buy fucking quickly because they're going to sell out." So yeah.
Did you not pre-order Miles Morales, Gareth?
No, I haven't got around to doing that yet. Seriously, I've been busy.
I think you'll be able to pre-order that separately.
I'll get it. I'm sure I'll get it. I've got my COVID test voucher thing, so I could probably get it with that.
Yeah,
I'm
going to use my vouchers that I've got for a TV, 4K, obviously, so I can play my brand new consoles.
Okay, let's just catch up with some of these comments.
Yeah.
Blu-ray drive.
Did it right? Oh, let's start back here. Perhaps to talk about a Blu-ray drive. I think that was PS4 had a Blu-ray drive. I don't know about the
S series. This is just like we were back on the S series, because you got King Solomon after he turns around and says the Xbox will only do 1440p, which is fine for me because I've only got a HD TV here in my little office, which is where the S series is going to live. The PlayStation will be living downstairs with the 4K TV, so it's not really worth it because I haven't got the TV to go with it.
Yeah, I think you'll be all right. I mean, and then the One S plays 4K Blu-ray, but I think he was
fucking confusing too.
Yeah, 4K Blu-ray.
It's the one with it's the S version with the disc drive. Oh, you've ordered the wrong fucking one.
Yeah, agree. The names are confusing.
Spaghettios.
So, yeah, true. Yeah, if you like Blu-rays. I mean, I've got a few Blu-rays, and I watch them through my PlayStation 4. So, yeah, cool. I can't remember what we were talking about at the time.
Hang on a second. Just a quick one when it comes to Blu-rays. Yeah, I'm so fucking lazy. I bought something on Amazon so I didn't have to get up and find the Blu-ray. I was sitting on the sofa and I just went bye. It was I'll let you know it was the 4K version. I'll have you know, and he had the Blu-ray version. All right.
Yeah.
So I can be forgiven for that.
The naming. That's it.
Yes.
The 3DS XLI. It sounds like a car.
It does sound like
a new Ford 3DS XLI.
XLI with turbocharger and go faster stripes.
The PS4 couldn't play 4K, but it could play normal Blu-ray.
It's not the. Hang on a second, just a quick one. Go back to that Blu-ray. That one about playing Blu-ray. It's not the PS4. It's the PS4 Pro not being able to play 4K Blu-ray because when the PS4 came out, 4K Blu-ray wasn't really a thing, and then shortly after it became a thing.
Yeah, so, that's right. That's right. Yes. So it is probably worth buying Spider-Man on the PS4. And then when you get a PS5, pop that PS4 disc into your PS5 and you will play it. And you could probably download your save from the cloud, like you would anyway, using PS Plus, and just carry on from where you were. And it will just run faster and smoother.
He makes a good point about Sony charging a lot of money on digital downloads. Digital download games usually are more expensive on the Sony store. In the UK, not here, they're not. They're actually good to fucking cheaper.
You're in Thailand, man.
It's the VAT, man. You've probably got 5% VAT. That's probably what it is.
Well, it's gonna that Star Wars Squadrons has worked out at 28 quid.
And paid 36. I think I paid for mine. 36. Yeah, mine would have been 30 quid otherwise. That's about So 30 quid, saved about £2 there. Well done. And that charming broadband that you've got there, mate.
When it works, it's really fast. But it is partly backed up by cheap, shitty routers. I'm going to be buying some decent mesh ones soon.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to the next story.
Baxter mentioning that he thought they had offered free upgrades from PS4 to PS. I think it might be certain games, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And King Solomon, let's not forget you. Nintendo charges full price for Wii U ports to Switch. Keith, have you got any?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do. Super Smash Bros.
What's your question, Gareth?
Any Wii U games you got on your Switch we paid full price for?
Breath of the Wild, it was about $59.99, so around 60 quid round up. So I haven't downloaded any more games yet because I spent so much money on flipping Breath of the Wild. I was like, oh, flipping heck.
Breath of the Wild, is that a port?
It's an awesome game.
It is.
Yeah, it was.
I have been playing it. I have been getting into it. There are some times where I found it completely frustrating. I'm just like, oh, flip. There's a lot of busy work in that game. But yeah, it is awesome, Keith. You are right. Overall, it is a good game.
Okay, all right.
Cool.
Before we get into an argument over Zelda, let's move on to
We're not arguing over Zelda. I'm agreeing with Keith. Oh, sorry.
Did you argue over Zelda?
Sorry.
Right. Okay. So the next one here is this is a really big bit of news that came out, and I've got a problem with it. And I'll state it at the end. Microsoft.
Really?
Yeah. And it's not the problem you think it is. All right. Microsoft acquired Bethesda Softworks in $7.5 billion deal. So Zenimax Media acquisition brings Doom, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, and more to the Xbox. Right. My problem goes like this. Nothing to do with exclusives, nothing to do with studios or anything like that. I think they pay too fucking much. The Fallout franchise isn't fucking worth as much now, and I imagine they're going to cock up the fucking Elder Scrolls series too.
Oh dear. Gareth's pay for franchises.
How much did it cost for Disney to buy Marvel?
God,
4 billion or something.
I think
Disney bought Star Wars for less than that.
Exactly.
And they fucked it up.
They fucked it up.
Good point, Dave.
No, let's not.
Let's not go down that route. We haven't got enough time, unfortunately.
If you consider the games that Bethesda have put out, they're highly successful games, brought in a lot of cash. But are they as successful as?
But I think that they've fucked all their goodwill with customers.
Fallout 76.
Fallout 76 is the first thing that springs to mind. The only thing I think they've done that I've enjoyed recently is probably Doom Eternal and Doom 2016. But they have royally fucked it. I'm hoping the reason I say it is like because Microsoft bought Rare. Do you remember this when they bought Rare when they first bought out the 360?
Yes, I remember Rare.
Yeah.
Do we remember Rare now?
Yeah.
The guys who made GoldenEye when Donkey Kong came
No.
through.
What have they done recently?
Nothing.
I don't know.
That's my point.
Yeah, Rare are dead.
They're not very good with their acquisitions.
I really hope.
I think Sony are better with their acquisitions, and Nintendo. Actually, saying it, then Nintendo are better with their acquisitions because Sony have got this the movie mentality when it comes to the thing, and they look after their studios in that fashion. But Microsoft have got this horrible thing: if it fails, they kill it very quickly. And I've been around when they've killed stuff very quickly too. So I don't know. I think Doom's going to be fine. I think if Fallout 76, if they turn around and say we're going to redo Fallout 76, make it exclusive for the fucking Xbox, I would be really happy with that. I wouldn't be too fussed because, as I said to Nigel, when it comes to saying, "Hey, which console are you behind, the PS5 or the Xbox One?" The Xbox X series, and we can say, "Yes,
yes." It doesn't matter to me,
but I do think they paid too much for it. I think they paid way too much for it. I don't think it's worth that. I think it's probably worth 3. And I think Zenimax, it's weird because I think Zenimax have been planning on being sold for a while. And I think that's one of the reasons that they've been putting out games as a service.
It's a good acquisition. Fantastic studio. They obviously do quality games, or, up until 76 came out. But, they've paid over the odds there. I think they must have been forced into it. Maybe like they wouldn't have sold.
I don't think they were forced into it. I think that it's just that Zenimax scalped them. I mean,
what they're saying is no, leave us alone, not having it, and they keep putting the bid up, and go. And they went, oh fuck it, $7 billion, and they went, yeah, cool, yeah, sign.
So who's going to turn down $7 billion? I mean, come on.
Yeah, true.
Oh, exactly, and they're probably going to keep the same people in charge running the place. So back to this. Unless there's anything, I was going to go through the quote. So right down.
So that was a reference to the Wii U games being the same price on the Switch. So Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which was on the Wii U, ported up to the Switch.
Yeah. I might download that at some point. Anyway, I know I need to download more games to my Switch or buy them, whichever of the two.
And Baps has found your router, mate. He's found your router. I don't know where.
He says he loves you.
Keith.
I've got some some very cheap ass routers that were put in by the network provider, but there's some decent mesh ones, but I've never really been able to afford them. Hopefully Keith, in a couple of weeks I will be able to.
Keith, you are a massive nerd. You should have your own router.
You should have.
Yes, but I also have a wife. Therefore, I'm a massive nerd without a lot of money at the moment.
Oh, easy now.
Yeah.
Fucking truth, Dave.
Well, Solomon thinks he's smart with the acquisition. It is a smart one.
Yeah, I do think it's a smart buy, wrong price.
Too much. Great games, just too much. Yeah.
It's certainly, when I saw it earlier this week, it did surprise me because they've always been really a Sony powerhouse, or really they've been on the Sony is where they've been, but well, they don't care. They've just, somebody's got $7.5 billion and loaded, and who gives a flying fuck? What? Because he can just bugger off the rest of his life, can't he? I mean, there's some people made a lot of money here.
Yeah,
it could. I don't quite know why they've done it, because based upon the pre-ordering the other day, when the Xbox One, or whatever the fucking last one was called, came out, the pre-ordering was not like that. Not for the Xbox.
I think this is a COVID thing. I'm more excited because I've been fucking trapped indoors so long.
But I also think that the Xbox is going to be closer this time round. I know that Nigel's, but I think the S series is genius, and I think that's going to give them a leg up. And the scheme that they've launched, where you can pay every month for it, I think it's going to be a hell of a lot closer, and that was without this acquisition. And I think they did this to try and boost sales of the Xbox, obviously, but I'm not convinced they needed to do it. And I'm just wondering now that all the after the pre-order season's gone absolutely batshit crazy on the Xboxes, whether there's some people at Microsoft going, well, maybe we didn't need to do that after all. But time will tell.
I don't know. Maybe this must have been in the works for a while, and potentially something is happening better.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that for context, King Solomon said Nvidia had bought ARM for 40 billion.
Right. Hold on. Yeah. So this is the funny thing, right? Right. Apple and Nvidia had a falling out. Yeah. And I know this because I don't provide fucking drivers for my my card anymore, which is really bloody irritating. And now Nvidia have bought ARM, and Apple are putting ARM chips in all their devices.
Oh no!
Oh my god, they got a better.
No, they're not. They're based on ARM. They're based on ARM, but technically they manufacture their own silicon. They're just going to have to pay Nvidia. They're going to have to pay Nvidia a shitload of fucking licensing fees, because they do license technology from ARM.
Okay.
But the 40 billion for ARM is about right. Bearing in mind there's pretty much fucking 2 or 3 ARM chips in your household right now, in most people's households right now. They are fucking everywhere. So
okay, all right. Let's move on to the next story. Microsoft might be buying someone else. I've got an idea who this someone else might be.
Sony.
Nope. I'll give you a couple of guesses. I got a feeling that Sony and Microsoft are going to turn into games publishers, and they'll just be a platform that they'll put their shit on. So, given the fact that Microsoft is splashing the cash around at the beginning of this generation, who do you think they might be buying? What studio might be not doing okay, but not as well as they used to? Come on,
do you think they're going to buy Disney?
No, Disney. No, they're fucking Disney.
Yeah, cute.
Right. I think they're going to buy Sega.
Sega.
Interesting.
The reason I say that is one, Football Manager all of a sudden is on the Game Pass. Yeah. And Sega haven't been huge, and they've had dealings with them beforehand, especially when we had the Dreamcast out, and they did the software support for the browser and keyboard and shit on that. I don't know why I said the keyboard, but it's what do you call it? Yeah,
could well be.
I think my money. If you ask me to bet, it would probably be Sega as a publisher. Because I think it's that. Unless they're going to buy Konami, they could probably get Konami at like fucking 10 cents.
Given the stop a bit crazy.
Yeah, they stop. Get rid of the crazy. They could. They would be. I think if you did that, Konami employees would love you, considering they get treated better and be taken away from these stupid fucking pachinko machines. But my money's on Sega. Let's see if I'm right. It's going to be interesting finding out. Do you want to just quickly cover the comments?
Yep. So Baxter is a ID software fanboy, and I think they must have had a takeover. So he's not so sure about this takeover that we're talking about, and he's King Solomon is using ARM in his laptop. I assume because he's using an ARM chip to watch his stream.
Awesome.
I approve of that message. That the fact that you're watching the stream. That's what I'm.
Go back to the Babster one. The next one, the Babster one.
Yeah. Surely Nintendo will buy Sega.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
But I don't think Nintendo are out buying stuff. I'm hoping this is what I imagine if Nintendo were to buy Sega, it would be because Microsoft are buying Sega, and they'd rather have them than not. But,
two ex-rivals become one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And last one here, I think Nintendo is expanding very slowly compared to other companies.
Sounds like Keith.
Gravitational pull he generates.
Oh, God.
Well, at least you got your hair. That's what I can say.
Yes, I am jealous of you.
Instagram picture Gareth of you the other day. Instagram picture of you the other day.
Yes. Okay.
How long ago was that? A couple of hours?
Bastard. Anyway, before we move on to our next section, you can buy the Black Man.
Oh, for God.
Direct sequel. Here's what the book is about.
Okay. All right. So, who watched Boys, Nigel? Yes.
No.
I saw it today. I saw it this morning.
You should watch The Boys, man. It's awesome.
All right, okay. I've been told to watch this.
Oh, I don't know if you got Amazon Prime. That's the thing, actually. All right. So, watch The Boys. A lot more shagging in this one. And I can't wait to find when Stormfront reveals that she's... so, yeah.
She's what?
His mum.
He's the mummy.
She's going to be the mum. That's going to be the twist.
Well, yeah, they at the end of the episode, she was showing him all the pictures, wasn't she, of Vort's beginnings
Yes.
in Germany and experimentations and part of the Reich and all that stuff. And going to call him Captain America there, Mr. Homelander.
In America.
Yeah, well, he is essentially the America. He didn't bat an eyelid, did he? He wasn't bothered. He wasn't bothered at all that the beginnings of Vought and what he is stems from Nazi Germany. So I think I haven't seen the comics, but do you? See you later, Baxter. Sorry. Yes, go AFK while we're talking spoilers. So do you think he is on the, well, I know he's bad anyway, but like going truly off the scale bad?
Yes.
No, I don't think he is. I think he's always been that kind of way. So it's
But
Like
I think when he's going to find out the who he's shagging, that's going to push him over the edge. Which, in all fairness, it's going to fuck you up, isn't it?
Just look at what he did to his trailer at the movie park thing when she didn't turn up a minute later.
Yeah, that's because she didn't turn up though. That's
killer boyfriend nonsense. That is.
You don't. Yeah, it's schoolboy nonsense that being upset that she didn't turn up 20 minutes later. But you don't.
But he's a child in some respects. He is a child in some respects, and but yeah, I think the thing is, I think we're gonna get. I think I know what's going to happen in the season final. I think we're going to get a Black Noir reveal, and I think we're going to get a Stormfront reveal more than what we've already got. I think that was just the sort of beginnings of it. But that wasn't the most shocking thing for me in that whole episode. It was the entire fucking hospital scene with the giant.
I did like that. I did.
Let's just call him Mr. Stretch, shall we?
The giant penis.
The extendable penis.
The dong.
Takes compound giant cock.
When what's his face realizes what he's had wrapped round him,
Wrapped around his neck.
fucking laughing.
I'm gonna have to watch this now.
Yes.
I've been talking about it for ages, but I still need to like buy the Mandalorian and sit down and watch it.
Well, just to paint the picture there, Dave. They're hiding in a room, and this door's got a glass window, and I can't remember his name. The big fella, he stood next to the door because he thought he heard something, and the glass breaks, and this tentacle comes in, wraps around his neck like this, and he's going, and the Asian lady Kimiko goes running out, decks the bloke, and they open the door, and they see the tentacle retracting and going back between his legs.
Well,
so it's a tentacle dong.
But it's before that. When you see it wrapped around his neck, you do see the belly. It's at that point you realise what it is. You're like, oh, fuck, that's wrong.
That is wrong. And
I thought that's why Gav was sending such an exciting message. Have you seen the boys yet?
No,
yes,
no. Of the white rapper being someone who does a lot of like music that I listen to in games and TV shows, called Christopher Lernitz. It wasn't a spoiler, but the giant attack penis was probably a spoiler. It was weird. They kind of bollocksed up the lamplighting character, because the lamplighter character gets he gets butchered. I'll be honest with you, in the comic book.
Yeah.
How does he?
And they've made him quite sympathetic, and I'm like, I'm a little pissed off at that, because I would have hoped that you'd have seen Billy Butcher just fucking beat him to a pulp after what had happened.
Yeah.
Because that would have fitted with Billy Butcher being a nasty bastard. Yeah.
His nickname. And so even is she MI5, MI6 or something? You know, the person they meet at the end. CIA. Yeah, sorry, fucking American. And I get the two mixed up.
It was in the comics, because it was set all over the place in the comics. It wasn't set in the States.
So yeah, she was willing to listen to him as well, wasn't she? He was sat there going, I'm not running anywhere, you know, I've come willingly to discuss, because he was saying I was meant to kill you and not your kids. I think.
Yeah.
Not that that's any consolation to the lady, but it's not. Oh, I forgive you. You're only meant to kill me. I see now.
You murdered my grandchildren.
But the thing is, I think she realizes that because he's there, she could probably get information from him about who's instructed him to do that. That's my thought there. She wants to get info from him, find out who's behind these stupid orders and all that sort of stuff, and then try and take that person down, maybe.
Well, they know who it is. It's what's his mush? Gus Fring.
Gus.
It's Gus Fring's responsible for everything. Star Wars universe bad after the Empire falls. Who's in charge? Gus Fring. For superheroes going bad, who's in charge? Gus Fring. Breaking Bad universe, things going wrong with drugs. Who's behind it? Walter White. But he had to kill Gus Fring in order to get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you had that. That was interesting, and the vicious telekinetic woman, man, who's bulletproof, annoyingly, managed to escape at the end. I was expecting the car to be driving along and then all of a sudden stop with a big red splat when she escapes, because given the viciousness of it, she's going to turn up and she's going to cause some hassle. So there'll be a bit where you'll think that the boys are in the shit, and she'll turn up and save them.
I think. You saw her hesitate when she came out of her room where she saw the boys had the gun pointed at Lamplight or whatever his name is. And that's why she was asking, so who are these people then? Why are you dressed the same as them? They could have quite easily have said, you know, we've infiltrated this place, but they didn't. You know, we've snuck in here. Why do you think we got a gun to his head?
Yeah.
But they didn't, because that would be too easy, wouldn't it? well, I'm certainly looking forward to next week's.
Yeah, me too. I actually appreciate the fact that it's on weekly. I know people have been moaning about it, but given our current situation, we need decent entertainment, and stretching it out, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I know you guys like to binge, but I don't really get the time to binge, so I don't mind it being every week because I just get so far behind.
Okay, all right. But that's cool. Keith, you anything to say on it before I go and have a?
No, I think we've pretty much covered it. Yeah, I think that's where it's going.
Okay, all right. So let's move on to something I'm going to have a complete fucking moan about. There was a brilliant show on Channel 4 called Utopia. It was how can I put it? It was gory and out there and it had this very unique feel for it, done by a guy called Dennis Kelly. Anyway, it got cancelled after season 2, annoyingly, because they left us with a bloody cliffhanger and whatnot. And then, especially, hang on a second, I'd just like to point out, having Emperor Palpatine responsible for a virus which would make everyone in the world infertile was a genius move for the Channel 4 version. Not sure if the US version is because I haven't got that far. I watched the first episode of it, and they have fucked up so much stuff in it. It's ridiculous. If you open with Utopia on Channel 4 version, and you get those people being murdered in the comic book stores by RB and Lee. That was fantastic. The music by Christabel Tapia it is outlandish and odd, and tells you that something is not right. In this, it takes 36 minutes to get to where the first one literally started off. And the RB character, is like, how can I put it? Remember watching Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and they do like the remake of Good Will Hunting, and it's just not right. It's like that, but for Utopia, and I find that really odd. I'm gonna try and watch it because their version of RB and Lee, I don't know if it's RB and Roy or whatever, are trying to kill them, to kill some people off who've sold this comic book off, but it's not done in the same way, because actually I think in the comic book, Lee rips a bit of metal pipe off the wall and crushes someone's skull in, and this all happens in the first 2 minutes to make you feel unhinged and unnerved by the characters and stuff, and it's really enjoyable and whatnot. But I'm gonna try and follow it up. But yeah, I just wanted to moan about that. I'm gonna try and watch some more of it and just see how shit.
Is it wokey? Is it wokey or is it?
It's not. It hasn't had much wokey shite in it. I'll be completely honest with you.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on. We've got one thing to do before we get onto our what the fuck story, and that's to cover Ty from Battlestar Galactica. If you'd pull that up, Keith.
Hang on. Have you not got it?
The problem is when you put it into the private chat, it doesn't turn into a hyperlink. I thought you wanted to cover it. I don't know much about this. I heard about it. I'll see if I can.
Okay, give me. No, it's all right. I'm on it. Hang on.
You on it?
I'm on it. I'm on it like Donkey Kong. Hang on. Let me just open it up in the. Okay, Chrome tab. There we go. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So what happened there? The actor Michael Hogan, who played Colonel Ty in the awesome remake of Battlestar Galactica, basically has had an injury. Now, this happened before COVID. I think it happened way back in February. It happened after he attended a Battlestar Galactica convention, but he had a slip and fall, and a few days later, I think he had a stroke, didn't he, Gareth? A stroke that he's had.
I don't know. You're more familiar with this than me. All I know is that he's currently disabled, and he needs the money to help modify his house. And he lives in Canada.
I was a brain bleed, which I think, which caused a stroke, and he lives in Vancouver. But he hasn't done obviously a huge amount. I mean, he's done a fair bit of acting work since Battlestar, but obviously he is not working now, and due to the thing and being They're not great with disability payments out there, and the Battlestar Galactica cast have been given permission by the family to announce all this, and now getting behind it. There's a GoFundMe page set up for him, and they're asking for whatever people can give to help him out. By all accounts, he is a lovely guy. Offset, certainly one of the more active cast members, goes to a hell of a lot of the conventions. I've seen a few YouTube videos, and he always comes across really well, very funny, very interesting chap, and it's tragic. It's a real shame that he's been totally disabled by this, and if you can help. If you can't. But I just thought it'd be worth mentioning this because he's kind of he made one of the best sci-fi series in recent memory.
Yes, he did.
So, yeah.
Okay. If you want to put the link on our Twitter account, we'll post it out. Hopefully, I think he might have already been. I think I checked, and he was 2/3 the way there, and that was during the week.
They've so far raised $281,000, which is not bad. But they are pushing for more, obviously, because this isn't just something that you recover from. Yes, they're trying to get his house converted, but there's ongoing payments, and there will be lots of sort of ongoing treatments around this. And yeah, it's a real shame, especially because it happened when he was attending a convention as well, which is for the fans. So. A lot of people are doing a shout out on this. All the big sort of Nerdrotic and Heel versus Babyface have mentioned it, but I thought we will mention it as well because I'm going to try and donate a couple of dollars. But I just thought it was worth just giving a shout out because he's a nice guy.
Okay. All right. So time to move on to the next bit. But before we start, you can buy the Black Member on Amazon.
This is going to be like an ongoing prank.
Just while you're here today.
Nice. Do me a favour, plug the Twitter.
You haven't said that in a while.
Yeah, he hasn't said that in a while. Okay, so for a What the Fuck story donated by the lovely Babster, internet, old TV causes village broadband outage for 18 months.
Right, how did this happen?
So I have no fucking idea how this happened, but apparently when this old couple switched on their TV at like 7 o'clock in the morning and then turned it off at 10 o'clock at night, the internet would just go out in this area.
Yeah, so I read this article during the week, and they'd had the broadband companies absolutely stumped in that village because it was affecting the entire area. Everyone in the village was having issues with broadband, and that's why they bothered to turn up and have a look and investigate. And one of the last straw, because they were going around changing people's modems, they would do it, all sorts. And then one of the last things that they decided to do was walk up and down the street with a device that monitors something that could interfere with the broadband and the fiber optics or whatever's that's been installed. And they're walking up and down the road, and then they're going, and then like clockwork at 7 o'clock, boom, it's happened again. And then they tracked it down to the strongest signal. It's this old couple's house who have got a really old TV that the guy was coming down, making his drink in the morning, popping the TV on to watch a little bit of Good Morning Britain or whatever. And that old TV was interfering with the network. It was destroying the broadband.
Oh dear.
For the entire village.
Oh shit.
And he's now been made aware that it was his TV. Obviously, he's gobsmacked, and he's going to buy a new one.
Okay. Before we go any further, Keith, have you checked there's not a really old TV in your vicinity, mate?
The fur is flying and the claws are going to come out. No, I think
I'm just checking my router now.
a little bit.
No,
of reading
this
enough
isn't-
to calm things down.
Yeah, I need blade flip to fix my internet. Yeah, thank you. Dave, is an ongoing thing from last night because my PlayStation failed to connect to the internet because the router died here and I didn't notice. So it didn't download an update. And I spent the first hour of the stream downloading a fucking 12.5 gig update. And for the first half an hour of that, it was really slow. So after I dicked around for half an hour, realized that my router was fucking shit, and rebooted everything, it downloaded like the whole lot in minutes. But this lot are not letting me forget about it.
No, we're not.
Get what you pay for, Keith.
Okay, all right. There is another story, but I think I'm going to save it till next week because it's oh my god, they did. Okay, we'll save that till next week because that'd be a good one. All right, gentlemen. Before we go, you can buy that member on what's the other one that isn't Amazon?
Oh,
Is it on Barnes and Noble?
Barnes and Noble, Lulu, and Goodreads.com.
Yeah, you can buy it from those places. Thank you very much. Oh, and by the way, we hit 1,000 followers on Instagram.
I can give you an accurate update if you like.
Oh no, don't tell me because it just annoys me that we're not exactly at 1,000 because I'm
okay.
OCD like that.
Well, it's 1,011 currently.
Ooh. Well, we'll see if we can get to 2,000 in the next couple of months.
Yep, right, and you can find us. You can find us on Instagram. If you're watching this later, you can find us on Instagram at Monkey Nut Punch. That goes the same for Twitter. Do the same.
Yeah,
and then just search on Facebook as well. Search Monkey Nut Punch.
These videos.
Yeah.
Search for Monkey Nut Punch on Facebook and then also YouTube, where you might have seen this live video. Have a look for Monkey Nut Punch.
And thank you for those who've watched us all the way through to the end. If I can bother you, could we get a thumbs up or a like or whatever it is on whatever thing you're listening to? It'd be fantastic. Guys, anything to say before we go?
Yep, subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Infamous Master P.
Okay, fair enough. And
yeah. Well, thanks for watching. If you've got this far, well done, you.
Well done,
you. Yeah. Thumbs up.
Okay. Wave goodbye, Keith.
Bye-bye.
It's all time. Everyone wave with a smile.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
I wonder what I can do here if I just go in here and I type in Bladefoot. Find. Look.
Hold on a second.
It doesn't work!
Oh, hold on. Gareth, books, Bladefoot by
Oh, okay.
Honestly. Hang on. Right.
And there it is. Our final.
Wait.
No, it didn't work!
No, go down. Scroll.
Blades.
It's a good job we're still live, lads.
Put Bladefoot by David Pratt. Try that.